Good afternoon. My name is Zodwa Zigalala, Brand and Marketing Manager of Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone. And today we are very excited to have Mr. Donovan Shimandamba with us. Mr. Donovan is the CEO of Nyanza Light Metals, which is investing 4.5 billion in one of our zones. And they are one of our very much valued investors at the RBIDZ. Thank you, Mr. Shimandamba, for joining us today. Can you please briefly tell us, as the CEO of Nyanza Light Metals, can you just tell us about your project, manufacturing titanium dioxide? What does this mean for a layperson out there that may want to benefit from this project?
Thank you, Zodwa, and it's great to be here and talking to you again. In simple terms, Nyanza Light Metals is a company that has taken advantage of the abundant mineral resources in South Africa. And you would know in KZN in your area, you have abundance when it comes to titanium dioxide, heavy mineral sands, which are mined and exported by the likes of Tronox and Rio Tinto. So what Nyanza has done is it has looked at this and said, we have an opportunity as South Africa to process this further and retain some value in South Africa. And rather than exporting the primary raw minerals, we then export titanium dioxide pigment. So effectively, Nyanza is a chemical manufacturing company that processes these sands and produces titanium dioxide. Now, what is titanium dioxide pigment? Maybe just to put it in layman terms, it's a white powder. I think some of us who grew on nappies would remember baby powder. It looks similar to baby powder, and it's used as the base for introducing any color in any materials. So anything that has color, it starts off with titanium dioxide pigment, and then you introduce other colors. Now, for example, the other things that you have that titanium dioxide pigment is used include your toothpaste. So when you brush your teeth in the morning, you are touching titanium dioxide pigment. When you drink your milk, you are touching titanium dioxide pigment. When you put makeup for the ladies, there's titanium dioxide pigment. When you paint in your house, it's titanium dioxide pigment. When you're painting your cars, when you're looking at the rigs, so it's the most widely used material out there in the world. So when you wake up, even your clothes you're wearing, the colors that appear on your clothes, for them to show those colors, you need titanium dioxide pigment. That's what it is. And I think sometimes when you just say titanium dioxide, it sounds like a very complicated a material, and people tend not to relate to it, but that's what it is. Yeah. Now, I guess in layman terms, that's what titanium dioxide pigment is and what we do.
You explained it very clearly. I think it is making that sense to one listening to this, because really, if you're talking of all these materials that you use every day, they have a touch of it. So it is something that we really need to see coming into our shows and really benefiting our people, and as well as the market out there that will be in need of it. In your view, what role has the RBIDZ played in securing your investment and contributing towards the business opportunities that you are looking for as an investor?
I think the special economic zone concept, and Richards Bay IDZ being an operator of a special economic zone, it's one such initiative that's required in many countries. So in our case, the first thing was, dealing with Richards Bay IDZ, we were able to sort of like through one-stop shop, be able to liaise with the government or various quasi-government institutions and municipalities. And the Richards Bay IDZ itself, what it would have done is it provides infrastructure that is already, or brings infrastructure to the special economic zone, which we would have had to go and try and build ourselves. So the decision to go into the special economic zone for us was purely because there's a lot of baseline infrastructure that's being put in place. There's investment support that you have that comes from the management and the team from Richards Bay IDZ. So when you're looking for environmental permits, if you're looking for water use license, you're looking for special incentives to get from the government or be registered to qualify for certain things, all of that, it just makes business easy for us. It becomes a no-brainer for us whether to be secured in the zone or try and go outside. So I think the zone has played a very critical part in us firstly securing our own investors who want to invest in Nyanza and making it look more lucrative, because foreign investors, when they look at any project in South Africa, they tend to try and see whether there is government support, and it's very visible on our project, and we're quite grateful for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I think partly you've covered some of, the responses that may be part of my next question. So, but I'm going to ask it anyway, just in case there is some areas that you would want to cover, because that question is just asking to check if there are any, what would you say are some of the benefits of investing within the RBIDZ?
Well, there's a couple. I'll start with the financial benefits, which are quite visible. So, firstly, being in the IDZ, the government comes in to support the general infrastructure by providing funding to Richards Bay IDZ, and we come into purpose-built top structure. We have, being in the IDZ, we have gained access to 12I manufacturing incentives. So we have, we've got quite significant amounts of assessed tax loss, which we can use to write off against our profits. We have our income tax. Once you're in the special economic zone, it drops from 28 to 15%. You get training allowance support. So these are some of the special incentives financially, that obviously end up reporting to the bottom line and makes our project much more viable.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Chimanamanda. The next question will be, how far has this investment gone in supporting the development and the employment within the community of Richards Bay, especially with your first phase that is about to be operational? Would you be able to just indicate for us?
So the first phase, although it's small, I mean, already we saw during construction, we had over 200 people on site. That is, and these are people who would have ordinarily have nothing to do, because most of these jobs are semi-skilled and some of them are not skilled. Once we are operational, we're going to maintain a headcount of between 60 and 80 people. And these are skilled people who will be working in our mini production plant, working in our highly sophisticated labs and the support functions around that. So already with that, we, from an employment perspective, we've done that impact. It's small at this point in time, but when we go to the second phase, we're talking north of 1,200 jobs in terms of during construction, and 550 permanently employed once we are operational. And, the indirect jobs associated with that, you can use your multiplier of 2.5. That means there'll be probably another 1,500 jobs that indirectly will be created because of our operation.
Inputs.
The other way also, just on development now, when you look at even at the technical service center, and which is the first phase and the later phases to come, there's going to be a lot of SMME type contracts that will be given to allow the communities to participate in the supply chain. So there are things that do not warrant us to go and search for outside Richards Bay or outside KZN region in terms of certain supply services. For example, if you have to have security, cleaning and maintenance, transport for the workers coming in and going out, canteen services, even looking at supplying, providing some logistics services as trucks and stuff like that. So there will be quite a lot of opportunities for the communities, over and above the employment that will be created.
Great, and we're looking forward to such opportunities. In closing, would you recommend for companies to invest within RBIDZ, and why?
Most definitely. I mean, I think for the reasons that I've stated, during my presentation, the dialogue. is that, special economic zones are ideal and perfect for greenfields companies that are looking to export, to be in a customs clearance area. You qualify for a lot of government incentives that are aimed at promoting industrial capacity creation. And it just makes sense. I mean, if it's I'd say, I mean, I would recommend any company to be in the RBIDZ, because you're coming into zones where, basic infrastructure, which can cost millions, is already being provided. And if it's not there, the RBIDZ, working with the Department of Trade and Industry, they will make sure that it's invested in. So yes, I would.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Chimandamba. Let me just throw this one. Can you be able to describe your company in one word?
Innovative and brave.
That's great. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate it. And we are wishing you and your team everything of the best with the project. We are already seeing the results, I think, with what you have highlighted in terms of how far the investment has gone in supporting the development in the area. Really, that one cannot be questioned. And we really appreciate your taking time and be with us this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zora. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Bye.